It's time to grab your popcorn and your soda, get your favorite candy, and get ready because we are going to the movies. We're going to be watching and reviewing some of the most iconic movies featuring superstars of the world of professional wrestling. Will it be thumbs up or thumbs down? We'll give you our thoughts, you give us yours. Come check us out as we review some of the greatest titles in its genre. Make sure you check out the Nation Network as we take you to the movies.
Hey everybody, welcome back once again. Jay and I are with you, and once again we went to the movies. How you doing, Jay?
I'm doing pretty good.
Pretty good. It's a double feature episode for the first time ever of At the Movies, and it features the same actor, and that is the one, the only, the legendary Rowdy Roddy Piper. Now, most of you are going to be familiar with one of the movies. As a matter of fact, I can't imagine anyone on this channel not being familiar with one of them. The other one, maybe not so much. We're going to start with the lesser known. I had picked up these DVDs a while back, which is Amped Wrestling, which is kind of the not Chris Jericho, but the Jeff Jarrett stuff he was doing when he was taking over TNA for a little while there that didn't work out so well. So this kind of global force is what this is. And on the second disc that I just recently got around, I've had these discs forever and just recently got around to seeing them. And I'm one of those people that understands that there's a reason why things happen the way they do sometimes. And in this case, on the last or second to last card out of there's like 4 episodes per disc, so I was like episode 7, I think it is. They have this guy come out who is a director / movie maker, and Jeff Jarrett come out to talk about this movie that they had just created, and that movie is The Masked Saint, which features Rowdy Roddy Piper. It's the last movie he ever made, and it released a month or two after his passing. So they come out to the ring, explain that Roddy was supposed to be there, obviously. That didn't turn out that way. And I just thought it was really interesting that it was a Christian movie, of all things. And Piper had found Christ at the end of his life, which, for those of you that haven't, I urge you to make the opportunity to learn about what Jesus Christ can do for you, because we're in some strange times. And I just think the fact that now is when I saw this DVD, and now I found out about this movie, and now I watched it, it's got a good message. And that kind of ties into the one that almost all of us have seen, which is They Live. But we're going to start with The Masked Saint. So I'm going to give you an idea of what that looked like. Here is the trailer.
Sometimes the bad guys gotta win. Like tonight. Go do your job.
You've always been a man looking for a second chance.
What the hell are you doing? Are you praying?
Remember, the world can only be changed by our action.
Now, apparently, there's a mass vigilante out there beating people up.
You don't say.
Where in the Bible does it say thou shalt not wrestle, huh?
Not that.
Yeah, you are. You just don't know it.
Sometimes you should just quit. While you're ahead.
Thank you, you're a saint.
No, miss. I'm just a man.
And that is The Masked Saint, trailer. So a little information on The Masked Saint. Came out in 2015. A lot of Canadian folks in there. This is based on a true story. I didn't realize that till the end of the movie. Did you know that going in?
Yeah, because it kind of mentioned that when I turned it on in the not the credits, but like the description of the movie on Amazon. It said that it was inspired by a true story. So
okay, I must have missed that part. So at the end, when they talk about, again with the words up on the screen about this person's now doing this and whatever, I was like, holy cow, true story. So that all said, Canadian biographical film. It was directed by Warren P. Sonoda, and it's based on the 2009 book of the same name by Chris Whalley. Chris Whalley is the pastor. That's his real life name, Chris Whalley. He ended up being here in Orlando, Florida. He's still apparently somewhat associated with this Orlando church, but I went online and checked them out, and he's not in any of the list of pastors there right now. So sound like he's a little bit older as well, so he may just have one of those temporary roles where he kind of pops in and out kind of thing. So the story follows a character named Chris Samuels, who's a former professional wrestler who retires from the ring to settle down as a small-town preacher. When the pastor witnesses rampant problems in the community, he decides to moonlight as a masked vigilante, fighting the injustice while facing crisis at home and in his church. The pastor must evade the police and somehow reconcile his secrets, violent identity, and his calling as a pastor. I see a lot of these Christian movies. I have a lot of them in my own personal collection, and this one was really good. Some of them, they're good in the sense that their messages are good, but some of them really just aren't made well. This was good. I mean, this was up there. This actually won awards, I believe, for the screenplay and definitely for the film, and it was a Christian Awards program that they pulled some gold out of. Box office did $182,695, which for a budget was $3.5 million. Wow. Okay. Well, for $3.5 million, honestly, not that bad. The acting was really good. The writing was good.
Well, that's what I was going to say was when you mentioned about how well it was, that a lot of times, because I watch a lot of that stuff too. I like a lot of stuff from Dove myself, but yeah, a lot of times the acting just, it isn't what you expect it to be. It's not up there like the big movies and stuff like that. But the acting in this, Piper, oh my God, he blew me away playing the role he did with this. I told you this the other day. I'm really glad this was the last movie he did.
Yeah.
Because it showed a different side to him as an actor, actually, and everybody else in the film right down the line. They blew me away with their acting. It was really good. It was one of those that I started watching it and I was going to say, well, maybe I'll go stop it and go do this. Once I started it, dude, I watched it straight through. I did not want to stop.
And it's good. It's like you don't really necessarily get that. I always have the wristwatch test. If I'm watching a movie and I start checking my watch to see what time it is, how much time's left, that tells me that the movie wasn't so good. I never looked at my wristwatch. Now, it doesn't matter because the battery's dead anyway, but I didn't look.
Well, I'm the same with my phone. It's like I'll watch something. I'll do the same thing. If I'm not that interested, I start scrolling on my phone, or I check this or I check that.
Many times.
I didn't touch my phone for the whole hour and what was it, 45 minutes, I think it was.
Somewhere in there, maybe a little less, a little more, somewhere in there. What I'll say is so
engaged with the story. So
yeah, the guy who plays the lead role, really solid job. He kind of reminds me of Rick Moranis a lot of times, so far as facially.
Yeah.
And then the young lady that plays his wife really did a good job. I was very impressed with her. They have a daughter, small, now kid actors. You don't know what you're going to get. Kid did a great job. I thought she was on point. You have the gentleman who plays the detective. Thought he was really solid in what he did. But you know who stole? I mean, it wasn't a massive role in the movie, but she had a decent role in the movie. Who just blew me away was the actress who played the waitress in the restaurant scene near the end.
Yeah.
I'm like, who is this girl? She, not to spoil too much, but basically their restaurant's being robbed. He just doesn't realize it when he walks in because the robbery's kind of going on in the back. And she comes out and she plays this nervous, and he don't pick up on it right away. But she's making these things with her facial expressions, with these little twitches of her eyes, and you got to see the scene. Is all I can tell you. She plays that role amazingly well, and then comes back later on as a witness, and also played that part very well as well, because she gets into a little back and forth with the detective.
Yeah. That's where I really liked her.
Yeah.
She's like,
but I rewatched that restaurant scene 3 times just because of. It's like, my God, this girl's got it down. She under the little tiny details that she was doing, just with her facial expressions, and legitimately making you feel like this person's being robbed. And then I'm looking her up on Wikipedia, and she's done a lot of stuff. Some of it that we've probably even heard of. I know I've heard of. I hadn't seen any of it, but it was like a couple of TV programs and things that most people have at least heard of and maybe watched. I just didn't get around to them. But anyway, very talented actors. And again, they all did a really good job in this movie. It's got a good message. Piper ends up playing basically Vince McMahon at the end of the day. The wrestling isn't terrible.
No, I was going to say they must have had a pretty decent
choreographer
for it, because
I would think Roddy Piper.
I'm sure he probably lent a lot of it. But
I'd hope.
For this type of movie, it was not bad. They pulled off a lot of things that the punches didn't look fake, and I believed it. So
unlike the next movie we're going to talk about. All right, well, I'm giving it a thumbs up.
It'll get a thumbs up from me too. It is a really good movie, a really good message.
Especially now.
And the thing that really stuck with me is after things, probably about halfway through the movie, Chris has a wake-up call.
Yeah.
And that's what really got me. I'm like, that just shows you, no matter what role you're in, we're all human. We all get full of ourselves sometimes, and we got to take a step back. So that's what stuck with me about the whole film, was that part from there on, and him having to realize, oops, I was a dick. So,
Yeah. Really good movie, guys. Check it out. I'm going to have a link down below in the description so you can go check it out for free, because it's right here on YouTube. All right. That brings us to our second of the double feature movies, and I'm pretty sure 99.9% of you on this channel have already seen it. If you haven't, you're the 1%, and you need to see it. Here we go.
What do these things want, and why are they here? You still don't get it, do you, boy?
They have recruited the rich and the powerful.
They're running the whole show.
Wake up! They're all about you, all around you. Blinded us to the truth.
Take a look. They are safe as long as they are not discovered.
I don't know what they are or where they came from, but we gotta stop them. Stay away from me. Put these on. They have us. Look at them. They're everywhere. Our owner.
We have no other choice.
I don't like this one bit.
Leave it alone, man. It ain't none of my business. Ain't none of yours. We have been lulled into a trance.
Listen to what I'm saying to you. We're in trouble. The whole world's in trouble. Control us! You're sending some kind of signals out of TV sets.
I've got one that can see.
Mama don't like tattletale. Now we start spilling some blood. Let's go!
Push the button.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
That's right. They Live with Rowdy Roddy Piper. And we lost Jay. Well, damn it, man. I'll kick things off, and he'll be back. So, if you've never seen this movie, I'm not sure how that's happened, but this was back in 1988. It was made on a budget of $3 million, made $13.4 million, which not bad considering. It did much better after it left the theater and got into home release, whether it was VHS, which is a copy I had, so I had to go and order DVD. You can get that on Amazon if you don't already own it and would like to. Whoops. It's on the floor now. Anyway, they have a very nice box art cover to it. And, yeah, it was like $8, so you can't beat the price. The message of this movie is it was big for its time, and I've just, in the last week, really felt like I needed to watch this movie again because I think it's even more representative of today and what we deal with right now, what's been happening, silencing of voices, of the propaganda, the subliminal messaging, and the way the upper tier is controlling our thoughts without us even realizing it sometimes. And the fact that my favorite line in this movie is where he goes into the store, has the glasses on for the first time, starts seeing people that aren't people, or seeing people for what they are, is probably the more accurate description of what the glasses are doing. And the one lady gets on the intercom and says, "We have one that can see."
Yep.
When we take a look at what happened last week, that's what made me want to watch this movie. They take out...
Because how many people now are basically saying, I see, I understand now. And
yeah, but they took out Charlie Kirk, though. They took out Charlie Kirk because he could see. And he was making other people see.
Too, yes.
He was playing the Roddy Piper part, putting the glasses on people that didn't necessarily want to wear them. And that made him dangerous. And there was just something about that whole like 24, 48-hour period where this movie just popped back into my head about how bad it is. When you watch the news, even afterwards, and they are slanting the coverage of the shooter, and they're changing the description of the shooter and saying he's, from the right side and he's background. They don't mention on unless you're watching Fox or Newsmax, the other ones never want to mention what was written on the bullets in the cases. They don't want to tell you that he's living with a trans person. They don't want to tell you that he's one of these furry people that dresses up like a freaking animal. They don't tell you these things. Just like in this movie. They show you one thing, but they're telling you another. They're conditioning your brain and your mind. And I just felt like I need to see this movie again because it was so far ahead of its time.
But that's what's funny is while we started watching it, when that stuff started to happen, those are the same thoughts that kicked through my head was like, God, how this is so appropriate for even now. It's like
more, if it not more.
Thinking about this. Right, and I'm like, most people will look at it and think, oh, it's just a sci-fi movie, but the message in it is there was a lot going back then to make people feel that way, and now it's come full circle again, and now we're in even a worse spot, and it makes you think how accurate is the portrayals in this movie about people and stuff, you know, saying and like towards the end with the room full of the elites, you know.
Yep.
Tell me that ain't actually going on.
So
I'm
when it
not
was
a
made,
conspiracy theorist, but
when it was made back in '88, Carpenter openly says it was against the current regime at that time, which was the Reagan administration. I'm a big fan of the Reagan administration. Just going to say that. Carpenter clearly was not. And that, as a matter of fact, in that one scene with the TV on early on when he's got the glasses on, I think it was in the store, that was supposed to be Reagan. The one that's at the podium on the TV, that's supposed to be Reagan. So the hairstyle's, it's a little bit there, but not quite. A couple of fun facts about the film that I didn't know until recently is that John Carpenter did all the music for the movie. Pretty much, he had a co-writer, but he basically sat down when the movie was done, was playing the movie, and then would just start playing the keyboard to the movie. So that was how the music came up for it. Rowdy Roddy Piper plays a character named Nada. You wouldn't know that until the end of the movie when the credits roll, because they never mention him by name. Nada has a big backstory. There's only one person in the world that ever knew what it was, and that's Roddy Piper. John Carpenter told him, I want you to come up with this guy's last 2 years of his life. Come up with a backstory. Piper comes to set. He says, okay, I've done it. This is good. What do you want me to tell you? Nothing. John Carpenter doesn't know what the backstory is. And now nobody will. Piper never told anyone. But the character has a backstory that led him to where he was at. It'd be really interesting to know what Roddy came up with.
Well, I would say part of it was he was probably married at one time, because if you watch in the movie, he's got a wedding band, but he never mentions anything about a wife, ex-wife, or anything like that.
There's one mention in the film, and I'm trying to remember I don't remember what scene it was, where he stops, and I think he's looking at David Keith, who's a co-star, by the way. And he says, I've been having a real bad couple of months, or something like to that effect.
Yeah.
And again, he knows exactly what that all meant. The rest of us never get to find out. The studio really, really was not wanting him to die at the end of the movie. John Carpenter and Roddy both said, oh, yeah, he's dying. Because it wasn't about making a sequel. It wasn't about, although it would have been interesting if they did. But it was more about, we just want that message to get across. And they felt it came across better if the lead goes.
You have that sacrificial lamb that sacrifices themselves to get that message out.
And again, doesn't that bring us right back to a week ago?
Yeah.
Art imitating reality. Many years in advance. So this, again, it's a little bit slow moving. I'll say that. I've always felt that way about it. That's why I don't watch it all that often. It's 94 minutes, so it's not too bad on runtime. It's still a thumbs up. I mean, it's a classic. It got a lot more notoriety after it was out of the theaters and on home videos and on demand services.
It became a cult classic at that point.
And it has made its money, I guess. I don't know. I guess I got to check that out a little bit closer. So it made $13 million box office. I'd like to know what it's made after box office so far, as whether it's, pay services, or whether it's purchases digitally or purchases physical copy, DVDs and Blu-rays and all that. I'd be very curious to know how it probably made more than the $13 million. But that's just a guess. Like Piper's backstory, don't know. All right. Well, we got two movies with Rowdy Roddy Piper, and both of them have 2 thumbs up. So let me know in the comments if there's anyone out there that has not seen They Live Yet. I'll be amazed. But let me know. And if you give the other one a shot, The Masked Saint, come back, put in the comments what you thought of it. I think you're going to like it. I hope it opens you up. Again, if you haven't found Christ, it's time. It really is. Things in this world right now, it isn't right against left anymore. It is good and evil. That is really what we're down to. And you want to be on the right side of that one. All right, that's going to wrap it up for this trip to the movies. We'll be back with something else in the not too distant future. In the meantime, say goodbye, Jay.
Goodbye, Jay.
So long, everybody. We'll see you next time at the movies.
It's time to grab your popcorn and your soda. Get your favorite candy. And get ready because we are going to the movies. We're going to be watching and reviewing some of the most iconic movies featuring superstars of the world of professional wrestling. Will it be thumbs up or thumbs down? We'll give you our thoughts. You give us yours. Come check us out as we review some of the greatest titles in its genre. Make sure you check out the Nation Network as we take you to the movies.